The conflict there, in my view, is not about democracy or about progress. The conflict there is about something that President Trump has outlined in many ways and across the world. It's about minerals, it's about oil.
It's not going to affect India in any big way, except that, if the Americans do this and get away with it, they will become bolder and they will do more things in Latin America and the rest of the world, and the world can do nothing about it.
President Donald Trump's first war of his second term, which is the war on Venezuela, is in historical terms a return to what is famous as the Monroe Doctrine, a doctrine that was sent as a message to the Congress in December 1823 by President Monroe, in which he asserted that both the Americas, that means the southern half of the American continent, known in Latin America because it was under the power of Spain and Portugal largely, that too was within the American parish, as it were, or American sphere of influence, and that Europe would have to leave. In return, America promised that it would not intervene in European affairs, but it established that now this has now been extended in the modern age to a kind of a principle, I think in the present context, what we are seeing, a principle of hegemony, that the countries with their governments, and well, let's put it very bluntly, not all the countries of Latin America have true democracy. And there are questions and doubts about the legitimacy of the vote in Venezuela. But really, the conflict there, in my view, is not about democracy or about progress. The conflict there is about something that President Trump has outlined in many ways and across the world. It's about minerals, it's about oil. People do not realize that Venezuela has the largest reserves of oil in the world, much bigger than Saudi Arabia. Venezuela now has over 300 billion barrels of proven reserves. Saudi Arabia has only about 267. Well, I say only in comparison to Venezuela because Saudi is second. And the Trump administration and President Trump wants control over Venezuela. President Trump has shown quite a consistent desire to be America first in its command of the world's minerals, whether in Ukraine or across Africa, in effort after effort, in deal after deal. He has put this at the core of his interests. So there is a certain logic which people may not agree with, but it is what it is.
It was not a surprise. He had been threatening, and this is not the first time he had threatened. You see, when he was president for the first time, at that time also he had threatened Venezuela. He had he tried operations to change the regime. There was even mercenary attack. The mercenaries went in a boat to overthrow Maduro, and so they had squeezed Venezuela, and it failed. But this time he has gone more. He has sent the warships and he has authorized the CIA. So everyone is expecting this one, including Maduro. No surprise. At one time in 2013-14, we were importing over $10 billion of oil from Venezuela. At that time, it was accounting for almost about 7-8% of our total imports of oil. But now, because of the sanctions, they are stopped. So we are not dependent on Venezuela for oil. Our trade is very little, and we have some investment by ONGC in their oil fields. But in any case, we had been living with that problem. We knew that we won't get the return immediately. It's okay. So this it's not going to affect India in any big way, except that if the Americans do this and get away with it, they will become bolder and they will do more things in Latin America and the rest of the world, and the world can do nothing about it.
What is most, I think, what we should be apprehensive about or worried about is not only the American intervention. I think the American intervention may be the use of air power without the use of infantry and troops, but the clear warning given by Russia and China that it will not accept American hegemony over Venezuela. And if that becomes a conflict point, then it will add to a very, very major conflict zone in 2026.